Today, we're going to talk about how to show up to a speed dating event and how to maximize your success at that event. I'm Sue.
I'm Shannon.
And we're with the Smitten Project. Give some advice to our viewers about what they should expect when attending a speed dating event and how they should prepare.
So I am going to take this a step further and say any singles event, this would probably apply for. But especially speed dating, you should be treating this like a date. But sometimes we'll see people show up in like borderline pajamas, and it's like, is that really? There is a chance that you're going to meet the love of your life, and do you want the story for the rest of your life to be when your partner met you, you were in pajamas?
Just think about your attire a little bit before you walk out the door. I would hope that if you were going on a first date, you would take a second glance in the mirror and take a minute to freshen yourself up. And personal grooming in general is huge. Again, you might be coming straight from work, you're rushing, but it takes a few seconds to walk into the restroom and fix your hair or put on some deodorant. Really just think about that first impression that you're making.
Most people show up great.
Yes.
This is just, we're making this video for the people that maybe need a little bit of guidance. So we're kind of joking around about this a little bit, but it is true because sometimes you have that one person that you're like, do they own a mirror? Like, did they look at it? And we're not being judgmental, because here's the other thing. Like, if you feel confident, you are going to present really well during that event. I'm going to use a woman-centric example, but when I do my hair and put on my makeup, the way I show up is so different from if I've just like pulled back my hair and I'm not really caring about that external appearance, because I feel confident in how I'm presenting and in how I look.
And I think too, the more confident you feel, the more likely you are to smile. And when you smile, your projection of your voice, someone's attentiveness to your conversation is all going to change. Their first impression of you is so much different than it would be if you are feeling self-conscious because you spilled dressing on your shirt at lunch and you didn't have a chance to go home and change.
Dress for the venue. So if you are overdressed, that's also going to impact your confidence and your comfort level at the event. So you really want to look at the venue. If it's a brewery, we suggest casual first date attire. If it's a higher end, we also have a concept called 3 dates, which is a higher end date. That is something ladies, you might want to pull out the heels for. Look at the venue to help guide you for how to dress for the event and how to show up for that. And it will also provide a level of consistency for something that the other participants can look at for that guidance. Sometimes we'll tell you what the appropriate attire is, especially if it is different from that. But the reality is, if you're not coming to one of our events, you may not be getting that same support from your event organizer.
What other advice can you think of, Shannon, for somebody who's attending a speed dating event for the first time?
Outside of just general appearance and being confident, reach out to the organizer, let them know you're coming. Your event organizer is going to be very busy that day, but if they know your name, if they know you're coming, then they have the chance to look out for you and greet you and make sure you feel welcome. We do take the extra effort to look for new people, introduce them to some of our members and some of our regulars to help them get comfortable in the space before the speed dating. But if we don't know that you're a little bit nervous, we're not going to be watching for you. So a little bit of this is on you to be communicating with your organizer. Now, that being said, they're not going to have time to drop everything their priority is always going to be whatever the event needs. But if they have the chance, most organizers are going to do what they can to help you feel comfortable.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that about our members and our participants. And when they do reach out and ask questions, they're always so grateful for a quick reply. It puts them at ease. It makes them feel more comfortable and prepared to show up at one of our events. Just come with a positive attitude, right? Like, this is going to be a fun and unique experience, regardless of how it goes, regardless of who you meet. You are going to meet new people. You are going to have a good time. And coming with that open mind and that positive attitude is going to contribute to your success. A lot of people are like, but I'm only going to meet 3 or 4 people, or I might only meet 6 people. Well, when was the last time you went on a first date that cost you under $40 and you actually got to meet 6 new people, not just one? And you were only responsible for your own bar tab. and you were able to just openly have conversations with multiple people in an hour or an hour and a half. It's such a valuable use of your time and your resources. And if you start to look at it that way, it's a great way to expand your social network.
I think the other thing to mention here is that when you come to a speed dating event, you get instant feedback on how you are dating. And I do tell people speed dating, quote, rejection is not actual rejection, because 6 minutes is not long enough to make a judgment call. For some people, they just need longer. But if you go through that, if you go through all the rounds and you don't have friend or date matches, you get that instant feedback. On the flip side, if you're matching with everyone, you have that instant feedback. And we know in dating, those first few minutes are really important in establishing that connection. And one of my favorite things is the people have taken the steps to be self-reflective. They've done some self-education. They've really stepped it up. And now some of those same people that maybe weren't getting that instant match up front, it just took them a little bit longer, have really mastered that format of the quick connection. And so if someone's not a match for you, they could be a friend. Look at it as a chance to get feedback on how you're connecting with people in that shorter time frame.
It's a great point, Shannon. It's practice is what it is. It's just practice. It's first date practice. And what better way to practice something than in real life, with people that you don't know, that aren't necessarily going to judge you. It's not going to stick with you forever. It's just a moment in time. No, just give yourself a chance and give it a try. Don't sit at home and wonder what it might be like. You'll never know until you get out there and try something. You might actually like it. It might be a fun experience for you. And I know it has turned into that for us. We love watching the connections happen in real time. And it's almost as fun for us because we get to observe it from a distance, and we can see the sparks. We can see the connections sometimes. And it makes us feel good that we've contributed to that.
If you got some value out of this channel, click subscribe. Help us generate some more excitement about this channel so we can keep bringing you great content.